Wash your belt? What? And get rid of all the blood of your enemies? No. Alright everyone, and welcome back to another Scotty Karate video. So today we're going to be going over something that might be controversial, I don't know. But we are going to be talking about washing your belt, or your obi. Now, what? Why? What? I just don't understand. So, when you start training karate, any martial art really, but it's very prominent in karate. So when you start training, one of the things you'll hear is things like, you wash your gi, your uniform, but you never wash your belt. Why? Well, there's a few stories going around. Take it as you will, because a lot of this is just kind of word of mouth passed down. But the story goes, back in feudal Japan, way back when people trained martial arts, they didn't have colored belts. They just had the regular cotton belt they used to tie up their gi, and then they trained. And the story goes is over time, the grit and the grime and the blood, sweat, tears, all the good stuff turns the belt dark color. So that's how you get your brown and your black belt. Okay? It was never supposed to be something that, here is your black belt. It was something you earned, and it was visible based on your belt. And then, as the story goes, because of that, as you train even more, over the years, your black belt, the discolored, gross belt, the gook inside dries and cracks a little. It starts fraying and start having some white show through or some gray. And eventually you'll see martial artists that have a gray belt or a almost white belt again with black parts in there. Now, we, in today's modern day, we don't do that. So what we do is we buy, when you become a black belt, usually like satin belts, and usually they're white underneath or gray, and then as you wear them, the black wears off and breaks down, and it's meant to do that, and it's for symbolism of the past, trying to remember where we came from, as it were. But with that come the mythology and the ideology of you never wash your belt. Is it still applicable? Don't know. Honestly, this is kind of a up to you type thing. So, me personally, I almost never wash my belts. Just tradition. I kind of enjoy the mentality. Do I think that all that karate knowledge is sticking into that belt, and if I don't have a belt, I have no karate knowledge no more? No. Do I think if I wash it, it's going to get rid of everything I've ever done, and I no longer have my training? No. Obviously not. But it's tradition, so I usually don't. So, why do people? Right? And if you buy a brand new belt from an online store, usually it comes with washing instructions. Right? So, usually wash it on cold, air dry. Not hard stuff. If you put it in a dryer, it shrinks. It's cotton. So, understand that. But, normally you don't wash them. And if you do wash them, you don't put them on hot. You don't put them in dry. You just hang dry. So, when do you? Right? Well, I usually only do it when it gets bad. Okay? So, when you've been in a rank, usually when you're first starting off, go from your white belt to, say, yellow belt or green belt or whatever your next rank is. It might only be 2 months. If you have sweated and gotten so gross that your belt reeks within a couple months, you might want to wash your belt. But usually that's not how it happens. Usually you don't have that kind of time in a belt until you get brown or black. And then once you've been, say, your brown belt forever, you've been doing that forever, and you've got your grit and your grime inside your brown belt. Well, now you might want to wash it. Depends on how bad it is. So, when do you? When it's needed. And you'll know when it's needed. You don't want to be the smelly kid in school, right? You don't want to be that guy? Don't want to be the smelly guy at the dojo either. So, you wash your gi, make it nice and sanitary, all things good. Wash your belt too. So, if it starts to have an odor, normal sweat usually doesn't do it. It's usually the combination of few different things. If you use your belt to work out in, so for example, a lot of places will have you do, like, say, assisted pull-ups with your belt. So, I hold your belt, you lay on the ground, and then I either do curls to work out my upper body, or you do lats, right? And pull yourself up using your belt, right? It's a good exercise. It's good team building, as it were. But it does get nasty. You have your sweat, their sweat. It's gross. It gets gross. So you wash it. Now, I don't wash them very often, like I said. So here's what I do. If you want to, your belt's starting to have a little funk to it, two things have happened. Probably got some mold in there just because of the sweat. A lot of people just take their belt, drop it in their bag. It's gross, mind you. Very gross. Warning. But some people don't take out their gi until the next week or whatever when they're starting to train. They just throw it in the laundry or maybe not even wash it at all. You know who you are. But when you do that, that moisture sits in there and it starts to go bad on you. So you need to kill it. So wash it is one way. Another way I like to do is use white vinegar. Okay, now this doesn't take a lot. You get one of the little spray bottles from, any dollar store. Put majority water. Vinegar. So I usually like 10 to 1 vinegar to water. It's not very much. Just enough to get the vinegar in there. The vinegar will help deodorize and kill any bacteria. So you just lay out your belt. Take your belt, lay it out. Take your little spritz bottle, all the way down it. Get good and soaked in. And then dry. Okay? If it's so bad after that you are like, no, this didn't cut it, throw it in the washing machine. Okay? Follow your washing instructions. If you don't want to use a washing machine, which I don't recommend, by the way, just bonus, don't use your washing machine. I like just get a bucket, put your belt in it, put some cold water in it, tiny, like a few drops of laundry detergent, like you would your normal washing machine, cup of vinegar. Like if you have the cap from your vinegar cap, maybe a cap, maybe 2, depending on how bad it is. Wash it. Use your hands. Then rinse it. Same thing. Cold water, rinse, squeeze, rinse, twist, squeeze, rinse. All this good stuff. Get it clean. Hang it out to dry. Not a big deal. Do this every so often. We're not talking once a week or every other week. Maybe every 6 months to a year. Depends on how bad it is. You know you. You know what your belt smells like. This is just a hygiene tip. It's something that most people don't think about. They think, either one or two things. Either I never wash it. Never. No matter what. Gross. Or they wash it all the time. Some dojos frown on it. Know your dojo. Know what school you are, what they want. But majority of people don't care. They don't even know majority of the time. So understand that. Now, warning. With this being said, the more you wash it, the faster it will break down the material. Okay, if it's just a regular cotton black belt and you wash it, not a big deal. But if you do it all the time and you're sitting there every other week doing it, your belt will start to fray, break down, and start looking tattered and poor, we'll say, just really quickly. And, where a normal black belt might last you, say, 10 years before you need to replace it, depending on the training. And we're talking real quick, real quick, if you start washing it all the time. So know that, know what you can afford, if you want to replace it, if you need to replace it, how it looks in the dojo. Some don't care, you'll get in there and they're all tattered. But I wanted to go over this because a lot of people get confused because they hear it all the time. You never wash your belt. I'm a traditionalist. I like the tradition of it. I understand. I like the idea of it. If it needs it, it needs it. That's my takeaway from this. Okay. That's it. Real quick video. Just wanted to go over that. A lot of people have questions about their OB, maintenance, taking care of it, cleaning it. That's my take on it. So a little squirt of vinegar every now and again. Help kill all that bacteria. You'll be good to go. Alright. If you liked the video, please like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when my new videos are coming out. And as always, the more you train, easier the fight.